See if we are recording. Okay, welcome everybody to this coaching call. Hope you're having a fantastic week as we jump into the fall season here. So I'm super excited about this call. Judging by the number of people that have been reaching out to me about this call and the number of people that are showing up early for this one, I do think we have a really good one on our hands today. So special guest today, Mark Cloutier. I'm going to let him introduce himself, but I love when things kind of happen organically and how this even came about that Mark's on this call is a number of VidLead Studio members are already working with him on the side to, make their business better, make their funnels better, generate more leads and more clients. And enough were kind of reaching out to me about his stuff already that I was like, hey, who are you talking about? Who are you working with? And his name kept coming up, so I reached out to him, and now we got him on a call for everybody. So super excited. I'm going to just kick it over to Mark now, and Mark, you can introduce yourself and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Carter. It is a pleasure to be here. Very excited to be here with you all. So I know you all probably don't care all that much about who I am. You just want to get to the value, and we're going to make sure that happens. But real quick, for those who don't know me, my name is Mark Cloutier. I'm an award-winning agency owner, multi-seven-figure online coach and course creator. Some of you may have been in some of my courses. Most of them are in this filmmaker content creator space. So I co-created the Real Deal Video Strategist Club, Micro Content Mastery, which I see Rob here on the call as well. What's up, bro? And between these two courses and some other projects, I've collectively mentored over 3,000 filmmakers and creatives over the past 5 years, mostly pertaining to ads, marketing, funnels, automations, systems, all that good stuff. And that's what we're going to jump into today. So today's workshop is going to be the 3 keys to high converting lead generation funnels using, of course, VidLead Studio / Go HighLevel. Now, today's agenda, we're going to cover keys to high converting lead magnet offers, keys to high converting lead magnet funnels themselves, and the keys to high converting automated follow-ups. So let's jump right in and get started. First thing when we're creating a lead magnet offer, the absolute most key thing is defining who the offer's for. So we need to define our ideal prospect for each lead magnet that we create. So a great lead magnet should be specific. The more we can dial into one specific niche or industry, the better our lead magnet typically will perform. Now, I do want to say if you're more of a novice, you're more of at the beginning of your journey here. Don't be afraid to create something that might be a little bit more generalized. That's okay, but try to move on to more specific lead magnets as soon as you're able to. Why? Because people want to know how we can help them specifically. Even if your lead magnet is solving a more generic issue that many niches might face, because reality is most niches have similar problems. Some are just a bit more nuanced. People still want to understand that you've created something for them. They don't want to opt into something that seems like it's for everybody. They want to feel like you designed this resource specifically for them and their unique needs and their unique industry. So if you think about it, let's say you are a real estate agent and you're coming to the realization that you need to up your content game. You need more video, you need more strategic video, whether that's short form, long form, whatever. You're aware of that. You see something, option A, 100 short form video ideas for business owners to get more sales. You probably aren't going to opt into that because it's super generic. You don't really know if it's for real estate. You don't know if it's for you. But if you see something like option B, 100 short form video ideas for real estate agents to attract more buyer and seller leads in 30 days or less, you're going to be like, man, that's for me. I already know I need better content. They're going to give me the strategy. Let's go. Let me jump in. So when we target our lead magnet towards a specific niche, it also is going to make our automated follow-up a lot more powerful. And we're going to talk about that in step 3. So keys to high converting lead magnets. If you're unsure of your ideal prospect, ask yourself these questions. Who do you enjoy working with? Who have you had success working with in the past? And what niches do you know and understand? And most importantly, what niches have problems that you can actually solve? At the end of the day, when someone's coming to you for videos, they're ultimately looking for the solution to a problem, whether it's more leads, more sales, they want a killer wedding video, whatever the need is, whatever the problem is, the video is the vehicle in one way or another that's going to solve that problem. And that's what you're after. And you should keep that in mind with creating lead magnets, figuring out who your ideal customers are, make sure you can solve problems, get real results. Now, I do want to say it's okay if you don't know your niche just yet, if you're just starting out. I know when I first started my agency, I didn't know what kind of clientele I like to work with. I figured that out by working with a lot of different clientele, and that's okay. So I want to make that clear. You'll figure it out as you work with more people, but if you are a little bit more established, you know those industries that check these boxes, go all in on those. The riches are in the niches. Find the problem, become the solution. The best lead magnets are going to solve problems, they're going to ease pain points, and they're going to get quick wins for the prospect. Once you define your ideal prospect, then it's time to really dial into their problems and pain points. You want to get as specific as possible, keeping in mind that ultimately the problems that we choose to solve are best solved by the services that we offer. If you're stuck, try this. Get a sheet of paper and just draw a line right down the middle. On one side, write problems. On the other side, write solutions. Then write down 3 problems your ideal prospect faces. Next, write down 3 unique solutions to those problems. Remember that a winning lead magnet will offer actionable value the prospect so that they can take to solve a problem, ease a pain point, answer a question. Ideally, you want them to walk away from your lead magnet with impactful value. And there's so many lead magnets out there that are only out there for this purpose of getting an email address and not actually for giving value. If you give true impactful value in your lead magnet, you will stand out. Now, I'm going to be giving away a bunch of really cool, totally free stuff at the end. One of the things is a whole workbook, and one of the things in that workbook is actually kind of some exercises you can go through on how to create the perfect lead magnet, and it's got this exercise in there as well. The next thing is don't hold back. I'm a big fan of this quote by the one and only Alex Hormozy, where he says, give away the information, sell the implementation. This is what I live by when it comes to my lead magnets, because typically when we're looking to work with clients, we want clients that have more money than they have time. We're looking for higher ticket clients, clients that can afford to pay us the money we're after. Those aren't going to be those people that are going to fuss and cry and micromanage you over a $500 project. These are the kind of people that are going to pay you $5,000 each month, trusting you're going to get the work done, and provided the results are there, they're going to leave you alone. Those people have more money than they have time, and those are the people we're after. So if we present them with a solution to a pain point or problem that ultimately can be solved by just paying us to do it for them, a lot of times what will happen if we do this right is they'll realize that they don't actually have time to implement all of this themselves. They'll realize they don't have the team to implement this all themselves. And it just makes more sense time-wise and financially to just pay you to do it for them, because you've provided the solution to their problem, the answer to their question, the ease to their pain in your lead magnet. A lot of times, in my experience, they're just going to say, Mark, how much for you to do it for me? Now, keep in mind, we want to keep our lead magnets short, clear, and actionable, remembering that these people ideally will have more money than time. The next thing we need to do once we've figured all this out is figure out how we're going to present our lead magnet. There's a ton of different ways you can present lead magnets. The 3 that I typically go back to that work time and time again are free workshops and webinars, free downloadable tools like worksheets, checklists, SOPs, etc., and free mini courses. It's really going to depend on what's the niche, what's the problem, how much time are we looking for them to use to consume it, how much time is it going to take to give them the actionable and impactful value, etc. Now, we want to remember our goal is to give actionable and impactful value and get them a quick win. Always keep that top of mind. However, little time you can make that happen in is probably better. Don't drag things out. So here's a real world example. This is one of my personal lead magnets. Figured what better way than to just give a real world example of how I tick these different boxes. So I've got a bunch of lead magnets. Mainly I service course creators and filmmakers because those are the industries I have experience in. Those are my 2 niches. So one of my lead magnets for filmmakers, I defined my ideal prospects. That's filmmakers and content creators. I found a problem and looked to become the solution. A lot of filmmakers and content creators pay for GHL or VidLead or another version of GHL, but they feel overwhelmed and unsure of how to actually use the software to generate leads and sales. So step 3, become the solution / don't hold back. I created a step-by-step video guide how to easily understand and use the software, generate leads and nurture them into sales, and basically how they can follow a whole process step by step, where if they just follow the lessons and follow along the video tutorials, by the end of it, they'll have an entire automated lead gen system. I even give them a free snapshot with plug and play funnels so they can go in and just use my funnels and then plug in their own information to save them time and lower the barrier to entry. How will I present that? It's through a free mini course, there's a workbook, and then there's that snapshot. So the end goal of this real world example being that I offer a done for you service for those who have more money than time. So what happens a lot of times is higher level filmmakers and content creators get the free resource. They realize, man, I need this, but it's a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of hours. I don't have that. They hit me up, hey, how much to do it for me? And it works very seamlessly. Now you might be asking, well, what about the 90% of leads who aren't fit right now? The reality is, guys, when you create a lead magnet, don't expect 100% or 90% or 80% or 50% of people who opt into that lead magnet to just become clients right away. That's not the goal. The goal is you get the cream of the crop right away, and then you nurture the remaining 90+%. So in my case, the goal is to continue to nurture them, to help them become more successful through more free resources, through community and support. By doing this, I make sure that when they do reach that more money than time looking to scale phase, if they need someone to partner with them on funnels, automations, VidLead, or if a client has those needs and they're going to come to me, they're not going to go to someone else because I've been nurturing them and providing value. So a quick recap here for section 1, define your ideal prospect, focus on the specific niche, solve specific problems, and offer clear actionable solutions. Don't hold back on providing valuable information. Keep lead magnets short, clear, and focused on quick wins. I really want to harp on this one for a second because a lot of people, when they create lead magnets, they're afraid of giving away too much. Give away the information, sell the implementation. Trust me, it works much better than the alternative. So step 2, let's talk about high converting lead magnet funnels. So just got a couple pictures of some of the stock funnel templates that I've created that I use for various lead magnets that I mentioned earlier. So free course, free download, free training. I'm actually going to be giving you all these templates here at the end for free. So if you stick around for that. But keep in mind, before I get into the funnel stuff, we need to have an offer people want. Right? That's why the first thing I touched on was creating the right offer, because you can get the best funnel builder, the best media buyer, the best copywriter, the best email person. You could assemble the Avengers marketing team, but if you're selling a turd, not many people want a turd, right? They want something that's actually useful. Now, there are people who have such huge followings and such huge social proof that they can get away with that, but the shelf life is very limited. And I don't think any of us here on this call have that kind of power in our own following. So we need to make sure we have an offer that people truly want and people truly need. Now, if you have that, here's some quick and easy tips to build high converting funnels to get your lead magnet in people's hands and get their contact information in exchange. The first fold is the most important part of your funnel. The first fold's the first thing that people see before they have to scroll. So this is their first impression. You have literally seconds to make sure in your first fold that they're going to make the decision to continue to look at the information you provided versus bounce. So a few things you can do, even if you are a beginner, complete novice, to increase your chances of conversions are call out your ideal customer. So make sure it's clear who it's for. So again, if I'm that real estate agent, you put something out and I click on it and it says, attention, real estate agents and mortgage professionals. All right, I know that's me. If that's not me, I'm going to bounce, and that's fine because those aren't the leads we're after. We're after the targeted leads. Second thing is use strong headline formulas. So one I really like that converts really well is how ideal prospect achieving desired result in time frame with insert your lead magnet. Now, one of the tools I'll be giving at the end is I've got a whole library of my top performing headline formulas. And what's really cool is if you go into ChatGPT and you give it the correct prompt, so feed it a bunch of information about your ideal customers, their problems, about your lead magnets, and you give it the right info, and there's a guide in that I'm going to give you. And then you just plug in one of these headlines and you say, now write me a headline for this with this formula, and it will spit out some actually really good results, making it much easier for even the most novice funnel builders. Another thing you can do to increase your chances of conversion are create pro looking mockups. So this can go a long way if you are trying to get someone to download, even for free, a digital product. If you can make that look like a physical product, kind of give them some idea of what it is. So typically we'll do like a screenshot on a laptop. If there's a workbook, we'll put a nice workbook together. If it's a PDF, we'll do like a magazine looking PDF plus an iPhone. Stuff like that, just to give them a good idea of what it is so they can really conceptualize what they're getting, even though it's digital. Focus on unique solutions. We always want to be focusing everything around the problem we're solving and the unique solutions that we're giving. Make those front and center. Have a clear call to action that cannot be missed. Download now, get the entire framework and work instantly. And then bonus, make everything scannable. When someone's looking at something, they're going to be busy. Make it scannable. So within a few seconds, they can see, is this for me? What problem is this solving? What are the unique solutions? How do I get it? Boom. Few other things we can do, even if we are the most novice funnel builders, to increase our conversion rates are highlight our solutions to the prospect's problems throughout the funnel. Don't sell the lead magnet, sell the end result. Remember, we're giving away a vehicle to an end result, and we're looking to sell that end result, not the vehicle. So a few ways we can easily do this, just through some easy illustrations, stuff like this. So start getting desired result with lead magnet in 3 easy steps. Download it, consume it, get the results you're after. Same thing here with something like a workshop. Watch the training, apply the action steps, reach your desired outcome. Some things we like to do that work well, showing the old way versus the new way. I don't know if any of you guys are in the group Nothing Held Back. That's an awesome, valuable group. And one of the things the main guy there talks about in his funnels is the power of showing the old way versus the new way. And I've implemented this a lot and seen an increase in conversions. So just showing that in an illustration. Also easy ways, something like a mini course here. Hey, before the course, you're having all these problems. After the mini course, you're going to have all these solutions. So always be focusing on their problem juxtaposed to the solution that you're going to give them. Finally, social proof and relevant social proof. There's a lot of low quality stuff online now, both free and paid. And it's never been harder, honestly, to gain someone's trust, especially if they've never heard of you. So many people are getting their email and just spamming them, trying to make a quick buck. If you can show relevant social proof, that's going to increase your chances of building that trust factor, getting someone to opt in. So keep in mind, we want it to be relevant. So what other real estate agents are saying about these 100 content ideas. Show feedback from real estate agents, the results they've gotten, their feedback. Your online coach prospects don't really care about what your real estate prospects are saying, and vice versa. We want to keep things relevant. And last but not least, make sure you get your opt-in form right. A lot of people screw this up, and a lot of times this can be what causes good lead magnets to flop. You're asking too many questions. You're asking for too much information. My rule of thumb is, what is the minimum amount of information I need right now to get this in someone's hands? And I'm only going to ask for that. If there's further information I need down the road, then I can get that in other ways. So give a reason for asking for it. It's like, hey, where should I send your free course? Limit your fields. I typically am just doing first name and email address. A lot of people put phone numbers. Unless you are going to take full advantage of that phone number the right way, I would suggest avoiding that. It's going to decrease conversions a lot unless you know what you're doing. So if you're more beginner, like this is focused for, I would just do first name and email. And just let them know you respect their privacy. Hey, I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to sell or rent your information. Stuff like this can move the needle into getting people over that fence. And a quick bonus, it's totally optional, but add relevant and impactful bonuses. I do this a lot. Really helps move the needle. Bonuses can get a prospect over the fence as well as add additional value. Bonuses can strengthen a weaker lead magnet or amplify the impact of a stronger lead magnet. The bonuses need to make sense, so don't force it. They need to go hand in hand with the lead magnet. One thing I love to do is use my bonuses as a way to increase my email score and email reputation. So someone will opt in their automated confirmation email, and on the thank you page, it'll say like, hey, you're going to get an email. Or if it's the email, hey, here's your email. Reply with the word bonus, and I'll send your bonuses right over. This makes sure that they opened our email, they clicked our email, they replied to our email. Those all signal to email providers that they like our emails, they trust our emails. So any future emails that we send for follow-up have a higher chance of getting in their main inbox versus their spam folder. Quick example, so Lead Magnet will take the free mini course on building automated lead gen systems using GHL as an example. Bonuses, plug and play funnel templates to expedite the process, checklists to make sure they don't miss anything, and community and support to make sure their questions get answered.
Hey, Mark,
So
can I
quick,
stop you
yeah,
real quick? So we have a question coming in from Mark Dockery. He says, what if you don't yet have social proof?
then you're going to have to forego it at that time. It's one of those things that you're going to want to get ASAP, maybe get your lead magnet in the hands of some people in that niche ASAP, people you have a good relationship with. Say, hey, I want to give you this free resource. Just let me know what you think, right? It's something that we want, but if we don't have it, we don't have it. The one thing you never want to do is make it up. Does that answer the question, Carter?
Yeah, I'll keep watching the chat if he has any follow-ups. I mean, I would just add on to that, Mark. We've talked a lot, and even in our previous coaching call with Sawyer Hartman, he talked about kind of that there's the free to free way of thinking, create free content for your ideal customer and then go out and sell that to that ideal customer. So I think that's just something where you just have to go out and with time you're gonna get that. And it's also, you want to go test out your lead magnet as well. And by getting feedback on that lead magnet before you put it out to the masses, like where Mark's talking about right here, you want to test that and then you'll get feedback and then hopefully you'll get some social proof through that as well.
Definitely. Cool. So quick recap here on section 2. Make your funnel specific. Use mockups for credibility. Make them scannable. Focus on the solution. Have one single call to action. Don't be trying to link them to your portfolio and all these other things. They're just going to get lost in a rabbit hole. Have one call to action, whatever you want them to do. One thing, only give them that one option. I'm saying that so much because that's a huge mistake a lot of people make, and it just decreases their lead intake. Lay out a clear path to success. Provide relevant social proof. So there's, if you have it, and minimize your opt-in fields. So across all industries, common conversion rates are like 5 to 15%. I would recommend shooting for 30% or higher. That's typically the area that I like to be in to keep a lead magnet really going and scaling it. But obviously, the higher you can get, the better, assuming you are getting high quality leads. Not all leads are equal in value. Not all leads are good leads. That's why we really want to make sure that our messaging's right. We're focusing on the right people that we want to work with. Number 3 is high converting automated follow-up. So this all starts with your tagging. When leads come in, you need to make sure that they're tagged correctly, because if they're not tagged correctly, you might have all these leads. You might want to reach out to a certain segment of those leads, and then you don't really know how, and you're like, oh shoot, this is a huge or unorganized mess of a CRM. So if you're a beginner, some easy tips you can take into your lead tagging. These are some rules of thumbs that I always follow, tell my students. Have a lead master list tag. So any lead that comes in anywhere gets that master tag. So if you just want to hit up all your leads, you can do that with one tag. A lead that is lead magnet specific. So let's say you have 5 lead magnets. Each one of those gets a specific tag. That way, if you want to hit up people from one specific lead magnet because you have something that really pertains to that, it's relevant to that, case study from that, success story from that, whatever it is, you can do that. Interest based. So for me, that looks like, okay, these people are interested in funnels, like do-it-yourself funnels. These people are interested in done-for-you funnels. These people are interested in workflows, etc. I like to do interest-based tagging. And you can also do industry-based tagging. So real estate agents, mortgage professionals, coaches, whatever it is. Just giving yourselves more ways to stay organized. So if you do have specific outreach you want to make, you've made your job a lot easier down the road. Or if you take on VAs, you take on employees, you take on setters, this is going to make their job so much easier. And then also your paying member, your client tag. So same thing, I have a master tag, and then I have offer specific tags. And typically when someone becomes a paying member, I will remove the lead tag. It's going to depend on what the follow-up and nurturing sequences look like. First 7 days are key post opt-in. So when someone opts into a lead magnet, we want 3 to 7 emails going out to our prospect after they opt into lead magnet in the first 7 days. These emails should be directly related to the lead magnet, adding more value, answering FAQs, showing relevant social proof and results. And guys, make sure you go through what the awesome team at VidLead and CC360, and hopefully if you're on another version of GHL does, which is helping you with the email domain setup, the email warm-ups, all that stuff. Really important to make sure you're doing emails the right way. But if you're a complete beginner and you don't even know where to start, a good cadence that works well is they opt in, they get their replay or their download, depending on the lead magnet type, send them value, then social proof, then value, then social proof, then pitch to get them on a call or whatever the next step is. Now, from there, we want to put them into a master email follow-up. You probably get emails from people that you opted into something 2 years ago. That's because you went from their lead magnet follow-up to now their master follow-up. So if you're starting from complete scratch, what I like to tell my students is write a minimum of 10 emails for your master drip sequence. Think of this as your ongoing and never-ending automated nurturing sequence. Once you've pre-written 10 emails and schedule them out over the next 30 days, you can add a new email each week. That way, it's going to continue to be built out. What I typically do to add new emails, if I create a new workshop, I'll add it in. If I've got a new case study, I'll add it in. New value I want to add, just continue to add those things in to nurture people and add value. So what this looks like is we need to remember if we service multiple niches, and we're going to be creating lead magnets for those specific niches. We want to have our specific drips cater to those niches. So let's say you teach or you work with real estate agents, online coaches and course creators, and home services. So plumbers, electricians, whatever. You'll have lead magnets for each of these specific things. From there, they'll get your 3 to 7 emails that are specific to their niche, adding more niche specific value, giving niche specific case studies and social proof, etc. Then from there, what you can do is tag them and move them into a master drip that's still valuable, but a little bit more generic. A lot of us don't have huge teams. We probably don't have the capacity or the capability or maybe the knowledge to write never-ending, constant follow-up drips for all of these different niches. So this is a good way to supplement that. Just do the niche specific for the first 3 to 7, then put them into something that's more generalized for a master drip. What this looks like on the technical side is in your lead magnet drip. Once that ends, so they get your 3 to 7 emails, I just add a tag. So in this case, marketing mark master drip. And then I create in my master drip sequence, that is triggered when that tag is added. So someone opts in for a lead magnet, they get all the relevant tags, they go through it, they get my master drip email tag. They are then automatically moved to my master drip email sequence. I front load the wait period, and then they continue to get those emails over time. So quick recap, tagging and interest-based / industry-specific segmentation to help tailor your follow-ups to specific niches. Your first 7 days are super crucial. Send 3 to 7 emails related to the lead magnet, providing value, answering FAQs, and adding relevant social proof. Pre-write minimum of 10 emails for a master drip campaign and add 1 new one each week going forward if you can. If you can add more, that's great as well. So I know this is a lot to go into, kind of only go so deep into a format like this and with this much time. There's so much more we could cover, like funnel types, OTOs, pipelines, workflows, A/B testing, analytics data, traffic sources, etc. If you're interested in diving deeper, I've got a whole bunch of free stuff you can get. So I've got a whole course I call the Filmmaker Funnel System. It's free. And inside of that, you can learn just step by step how to build out everything we've talked about, but probably 10x in a lot more detail. So the whole system step by step. I'm also just going to throw in, because why not, like all the other stuff that I have. So I've got a whole funnel bootcamp that goes in depth into different funnel types, different funnel strategies. Even if you're not using this stuff, this is really good to know when you're working with clients and you're trying to figure out how your videos can get them results. If you know how these can be placed inside of ads, inside of funnels, inside of nurturing campaigns, that's really valuable for them, and for you, it makes you more valuable. Automation library, teaching you different automations, funnel building and CRO guides. I've got a whole HighLevel course just teaching you basic stuff inside GHL. Live workshop replays. So these are all replays that I did in our micro content course, all focused on GHL and VidLead technical stuff. Paid media guide, also throwing in that workbook I mentioned earlier. There's a whole progress tracker and checklist, and then there's some cheat sheets like those headline formulas, A/B testing guides, CRO guides, stuff like that. And then a bunch of different funnel templates to get you started if you're a complete beginner. These are the exact templates I use. Again, you need an offer that works, but they should at the very least help shortcut your way to success. You can grab it all here at the QR code if you'd like. Again, totally free. So go ahead and grab that if you want it. And with that being said, happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, if you have questions, you can definitely put them in the chat. I can read those to Mark. We can also, you can just feel free to unmute, ask any questions that you have. Mark, do you have a URL that I can just put in the group as well for those that maybe aren't able to scan that QR code? Is there something that I can throw
Yep,
in here?
I can drop it in the chat for you.
Perfect. So yeah, like I said,
One
guys,
second.
if you have any questions, I'm sure this is getting the wheels turning on a lot of different people. Really great step-by-step info on how to create your funnel and what you want it to include. But I think this question might come up, and so I'll just ask it first. I think other people might be thinking it as well. Mark, do you have any specific, that you've seen? I know you've worked with a lot of filmmakers, a lot of video pros, specific funnel ideas, because that's what I see video pros struggle with. They know the concept of a funnel, but a lot of them say just, hey, this doesn't really apply to me. Like a lead magnet doesn't really work as a video pro. Do you have any, maybe two or three great examples of like what type of lead magnet was working for Video Pro? I mean, one we've covered a lot with Rob and Jay is when they were kind of teaching people like, they were targeting coaches and teaching them how to like set up their film setup and stuff like that. So, I mean, outside of that, do you have any other specific ones that are working really well for people?
Yeah, one that we kind of implement early on with a lot of our students who don't really know yet what to do is fill in the blank video ideas for whatever the niche is. So I kind of referenced that earlier. So like here's 100 fill in the blank real hooks for real estate agents, stuff like that. It's really hot, does really well, gets good conversions. Also, things like how to use video strategically throughout the buyer's journey. So, hey, use your promo. Here's how you use your promo videos to get new buyers. Here's how to use your FAQ videos to educate buyers. Here's how to use your testimonial videos to close buyers. Things like that. Home studio setups, like you mentioned earlier, do very well. Essentially, anything that we can give them to save them time, and ultimately they think creating video content or implementing video content is going to be a very time intensive, difficult process. If we can help simplify it for them, it goes a long way. But the most impactful ones are really going to come down to what's the niche. So for example, we were working with a student a couple months ago who has a lot of clients in the construction and home building space. We were able to identify that one of their biggest time sucks is that their sales reps spend half their time answering the same questions over and over again instead of actually selling new homes, which is what they need to be doing. So we created a training around how to use FAQ videos as a home builder. So your sales reps can spend more of their time selling and less of their time answering questions because they can just send people to the FAQ videos. And that's been really impactful for a lot of her clients. And that's gotten her a lot of new leads. So stuff
Awesome.
like that. Just think about those problems and those solutions.
Yeah, guys, I think what it comes down to is I think kind of the basis of what Mark's saying is you have to know your ideal client. You have to know what problems they are facing. And then I think the lead magnets are just going to drop from the sky. Once you know that, if you have a good grasp on what your client needs and wants, the lead magnet's going to solve the problems that they're facing. So we have a couple questions coming in. I might not read these in order, guys, because there's a lot of comments, but I'll make sure to get to all of them. A lot of people thanking you, Mark, for the great presentation. So Hyde Media asks, how do you figure out different niches, problems? Never know how people say that. How do you figure out different problems? They typically don't need more clients. So what problem am I solving? So I'm going to throw it to Mark first. I have some thoughts on this as well, but Hyde Media, feel free to let us know who you're serving specifically, because I think I would say the majority of people need more clients, but if they don't, there's other things that they need. But Mark, I'll have you give your thoughts first.
Yeah, what's great about video is it can solve a lot more than just new clients. Like the example I just referenced earlier, right? Like answering questions, saving time. Nobody wants to be answering the same questions over and over again. Create FAQ videos or process videos. Let's say it's your solar installation company. Okay, there's different steps that go through. A lot of time gets spent, in my experience, talking to solar pros of just educating, here's what's happening next. And that can all be done through video. Okay, here's where you are in your roadmap. You've just accepted our proposal. Here's what's next. Watch the video. Okay, now you're done with that. Here's what's next. Watch the video. Here's what you can expect when our team comes out to install your solar, right? All of this stuff can be automated through creating videos. And yes, most people are looking to get more clients, but there's a lot of other needs other than clients, from awareness to social proof to education. Also think internally. A lot of videographers think externally. What videos can I create to get them more clients externally? But there's internal needs for video. So training, right? How good are your training processes? Are you making your new 18-year-old, 22-year-old, 25-year-old employees watch these old 1980s training videos that they can't relate to? Well, that's probably not going to get them trained up, and you probably have new policies in place since 1986, right? Let's create some new high energy, efficient training videos. HR videos, right? It's endless. Pretty much anything that can be a conversation that happens over and over and over again can be automated via video.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that. You touched on a training video. So Hyde Media, he said that construction companies is mostly who he's working with. I really like most of my family are in the trades. And so I've personally had to create, they have to do now, they have to do like weekly safety meetings and they have to pull all their employees into the warehouse. They have to have a space to do it. Takes up time. They lose money. By just being able to do these meetings virtually, I'm saving them tons of time and money. And I've set that up for 3 or 4 different companies. So I think I hate to keep calling you Hyde Media, but that's what you're called on here. Um, if you just need to talk to your clients, the more you know your clients and talk to them, their problems, like I said, they'll fall out of the sky right into your lap, and you'll be able to create lead magnets or solutions for them for sure. So it's
Yeah, if you're
Jacob.
having a hard time coming up with those ideas, just talk to people in the industry. People love to talk about their problems. If you tell them what are the 5 biggest problems you face, they'll give you probably 20, and then just pick out the 3 that can easily be solved with video.
Okay, so Aaron says one thing I'd like to know is if we ever leave VidLead or GHL company like that, would we be able to pull any of these systems with us? Not that I plan on leaving, but considering contingency plans. So I mean, all the principles are there. So the tools inside a software like VidLead, they're not specific to VidLead. I mean, there's hundreds of CRMs out there where you could build a funnel. Now, what we've done is we've done 90% of the work for you. We have a lot of templates there that you don't have to do a lot of the work. You can just kind of plug and play. If you ever did decide to leave, I mean, all the knowledge that you have is there. You would have to recreate those, and depending on what software you're using, you might have to connect a bunch of different things. The thing that's nice about something like VidLead is your funnel builder, your CRM, communicating with your clients, your forms, everything's all connected. And like I said, a lot of the templates are built out there for you. So those templates, similar to the ones that Mark has that he can offer you, those wouldn't work in every software. But if you already have built them once, you can build them in a different place. So hopefully that answers your question, Aaron. So let's see what other questions we have in the chat. Scroll up here a little bit. I missed a bit at the beginning. So Albie's asking, but under the construction example, what was the lead magnet there? Or can you provide an example using Mark's idea?
Yeah, I didn't mention one in the beginning specific to construction, but some of the ones we've seen do well are both looking at the front end, so how to acquire more customers. Typically, that's educational, depending on the type of construction. And then a lot of stuff kind of in the weeds. So when they become a client, those processes, those FAQs, and then a lot of training stuff. So construction's great because you can really hit on video quite easily on both the client acquisition, the client journey, the client process, and then the internal training, HR, stuff like that.
So Albie, I think kind of going back to like, so that's like what the problem that they're having and what you can solve kind of on the back end. Initially for the lead magnet is you could give them a PDF or maybe a free mini course on, hey, how to save time in your construction company, or here's 5 ways that you can save. Um, so you're kind of offering that initial lead magnet and you're providing them all of the information. We provide the information for free. We sell the implementation after. So if it's a construction company, and again, I'm just spitballing off the top of my head, but maybe you are selling them all of the ways, say, hey, you're losing money on your weekly training programs because you're doing it in person. You need to be doing it virtually. Not that you're offering to make the videos right there, but you are just selling them. So the lead magnet is 5 ways to save time and money in your construction company. One of those ideas is to go from like manual training meetings to, or sorry, in-person training meetings to virtual training meetings, saving their employees time. They don't all have to come and drive and meet in one place. So that's just one example that you could include. And so you're selling them. The lead magnet is all the information. And then on the back end, on your follow-ups, it's like, hey, we can provide all of this for you. Now, these construction companies, 90% of them might go out and just make it on their own, but those 10% of the ones that have more money than time, those are the ones we're after, like Mark was talking about.
Yeah.
Let me know if that doesn't answer your question, Albie. We can talk about that more. Cynthia says, I can't get over how much good information help received from the VidLead platform team so far. You guys are amazing. Hey, Cynthia, I appreciate it. I didn't mean to just read that one because of the nice words. Thought maybe there's going to be a question in there, but I appreciate that anyway. Albie says, thanks for good. Okay, any other questions? And if I've missed your question in the chat, feel free to post it again, or you can unmute. We'd love to talk to people as well. Let us know if you have any lingering questions that we haven't gotten to so far. Lots of great stuff. Um, and I told Mark about an hour, and so we do have a couple more minutes left. So if you guys have any more questions, we're free to hang out and answer those. If not, we can get on our way. So, Mark, any last words for the group while we wait for any other last questions to come in?
Yeah, a couple things are good to keep in mind. A lot of times lead magnets have a shelf life, so don't create a lead magnet and just expect that it's going to work forever. Industries change, needs change, a lot of things change. Also, depending on how big of an area you're targeting or how big your small your niche is, you'll run into fatigue just getting in front of the same people and over again, and that's normal. So if you got a lead magnet that's killing it, and it stops working eventually, keep in mind that's normal. Also, I'm always testing new lead magnets, so I get a ton of ideas. It's pretty bad actually how many ideas I get, but I just take action and I test them all. And you'll be surprised sometimes the stuff you didn't think would do very well does really well, vice versa. So it's all about testing, all about trying new things. Just put yourself out there. If you're not sure what the problems are, talk to people, and then maybe if you don't have social proof, talk to 5 realtors, find out what the problems are, create something, give it to those 5 to test it out. Boom, there's can be your social proof. But don't overthink it. Just go out there, find problems, give solutions. The rest will work itself out.
Yeah, so I had one last note, and it also goes into we got Rob Aspidia. He's asking, out of all these ideas, which would be the easiest for a videographer to get started with? And so I was kind of already thinking to kind of talk about this. Don't get, decision paralysis or analysis paralysis. Don't get stuck thinking about everything you could do. Just start doing the first thing. So go back to the beginning of this video. Mark talked a lot about what to do first. And so, in order to build out a lead magnet, you need to know your client. You need to know the problems that they're having. Doing so and getting to know your client and getting to know what problems they have and working with them, that will give you that social proof that you need. So everything will kind of build on each other. Just keep taking the next step. Don't worry about, everything that you could do. I mean, I have tons of lead magnets going right now, and I wrote down like 3 or 4 notes of ideas that were popping into my head. And now all of a sudden I'm a little bit overwhelmed, like, oh man, I need to build out like XYZ. So don't get like that. Just keep plugging away step by step. We are here to help you out. If you ever have any questions about this, whether it's for the VidLead team or you want to get in touch with Mark directly, I mean, on that note, Mark, I know you put your website and that URL where they can go to. Um, that I can put for those people watching the replays. I can put that down below the replay as well. But what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they have questions or want to work with you? Is that Instagram? Is that email? Or how can they get in touch?
Yeah, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm in the VidLead group. So Mark Cloutier, just find me in there. Shoot me a message. Pretty responsive. We'll be happy to get back to you. Even if it's just a question, if you need some help, I'm happy to shoot a loom over. I think there's probably some people in here that can attest to that. Happy to help you guys out. One other thing I'd say as well, Carter, is like done is better than perfect. Like you're saying, don't overthink it. So many people think they need the training has to be perfectly edited, all this stuff, perfect funnel design. Done's better than perfect. If you're really solving a problem that people need, that's what's most important. Don't overthink.
The 80/20 rule. I live by it. My wife hates it, especially on home renovation projects, but gets things done. So I can attest to that. Mark, he'll jump on the call with you. Somebody up here, I think it was Albie, said that Mark got on a call with him to just answer his questions, even though he wasn't working directly with them. So like Mark said, or like other people have said, Mark's a great guy. He'll help you out. If us at the VidLead team, we can't help you out. So tons of resources available at your fingertips, guys. You have all the tools you need to go out there and make things happen. A lot of the work is done for you in the templates and the funnels that we provide for you at VidLead. And we can also help you with the implementation of stuff. So if you have any questions about that, one more question came in. Is there a video walkthrough setting up those 7 emails and triggers? Yeah, so we have a full tutorial. I believe it's day 6 or day 7 in the boot camp, but it's how to set up a funnel from start to finish. We also have, if you want just a template of that, we have that in the VidLead Studio Marketplace. I believe it's called email follow-up or email nurture sequence or email newsletter, something like that. But we've built out the structure for you. You can, of course, customize it and change it. But yeah, Alex, all that stuff is there for you. 90% of the work's done for you. Email us, support@vidlead.com if you don't know where that is. But okay, guys. Well, I think those are all the questions we have. Mark, super thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate it. Tons of value going on here. I think this is going to lead to a lot more follow-up, a lot more questions. So I might be reaching out for you for a follow-up coaching call here in the future.
Anytime. My pleasure.
Okay. All right. Have a good week, everyone. We will see you guys next time.
Take care, guys. Thanks, Carter.